Hello and welcome to our second episode of Excel is Easy. What I want to show you today is how to make this spreadsheet, which we started with last time round, and take it up another level, making it look a bit pretty, add a few features, and we're going to do that by playing with the columns and the rows, which I'm showing here with my cursor. So we've got here the budget with the income, expenses, and the total. So there are a few things or a few ways that you can make something look pretty and a few ways that you can use the mouse and Excel. So I'm going to show you a few and you can choose which one you want to use. So firstly, this here, budget, is my title. So I'm going to click on budget to select that cell, and I want to make that a title, so I want to make it bold. So I can do that by clicking this button up here, which is bold, and that will make it bold. I can also change the font of that cell by using any of these buttons up here. So I can change the font. I actually like Calibri, so I'm going to leave it there. And I can change the font size, which I always like to make as a title at least 14 or 16. So let's make that one 16. And there you can see budget. I'm going to move the cursor over so you can see that the whole word is there. You might not like that the word budget is now overlapping into the next cell. So what I then like to do is look at the width of my columns up the top. When you want to change the width of a column, you can select a column just by hovering over the letter, and the cursor will change into this little black arrow pointing downwards. You can left click on that and it will select the column. So you left click on any one of those. I'm going to select this column B, move the cursor to the right hand side of that column, and it will turn into this line with two arrows going to the left and the right. Left click and hold, and then just drag your mouse across, and that will change the width of your column. Looking it down towards your rows here then, I've got here income and expenses. I want to now make income my heading. So again, I'm going to bold it with this button here, bold. But now I want to list some different kinds of expenses, and I'm thinking, oh, what have I done? I haven't got enough rows here. There's only one row here, and I want to have at least 5 types of expenses. So to insert more rows before we get to expenses, I'm going to move my cursor over the row number 4 here, and it's turned into a black arrow again. I can click my left mouse button and select that row. I can then right click to bring up a menu, come down to insert, left click that, and there we have another row. That's one way to add a row. Click somewhere else. We have 2 rows here. I could also say, well, this is where I want to add a row, rather than left click, right click, and going to insert. This time I'm just going to leave my cursor here and go up in this home ribbon over to here where it says insert. If you hover over it, it'll actually tell you what it's going to do, insert cells. Click on that and it'll give you a few options, and I want to insert a sheet row. Click on that and you can see another row has appeared. So you can use this function, or you can use the select from here. I like to use the select from here. If you wanted to add more than one row, you could even select this row using your left click button, drag that down so that you're selecting 2 rows. Now right click to bring up your menu, come down to insert, and it will insert 2 rows for you. So we've got a nice number of inserted rows here, which I can now go down and put in the types of income. Let's say revenue, rent, sundry, can't even think of another one. Pocket money, how's that? Let's stick with 4. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 types of income here. But Excel likes to think that it's pretty smart, and it's put them in bold, thinking that because you've got this cell here in bold, that you want these in as bold as well. But I don't, because income is my heading. So I'm going to click on this cell B4. I'm going to right click and drag down. So I'm selecting all 4 of those cells. Come up to the bold button again and click, and it will take out the bold for me. So now I have income as a heading and 4 kinds of income. You might remember from last time we put in an income number of $100 here, but income is now a heading. So I'm just going to click the delete button on the keyboard to take that out. You can see the formula has automatically changed. Arrow down to the first cell next to the one that says revenue and put in my numbers for revenue, rent, sundry, and pocket money. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll make up some numbers. 20, press enter to move down to your next cell. 30 for this one, press enter. 40, enter. 50, enter. We now have a nice grouping of income numbers here. Just so people know exactly what we're doing, we can name this column. So we're going to say this is dollars. Enter. And again, make that a bold. Just like using Word, you can bold, italics, or underline any of your entries in Excel, and you can also align left, align right, or center them. So for this dollar value, I'm going to center it by clicking this button here. There you go. Let's do the same for expenses. So we're going to add our rows by selecting, right click, insert. We've inserted about 4 rows there. We're going to make this a heading by clicking B for bold. Delete this out because we're at a heading. Delete and enter, and have a couple of types of expenses. Salaries, cleaning, electricity. That'll do. Put in some numbers here. So we're putting these in, just checking my formula. We're going to put these in as positives as well. So salaries of 10, enter. Cleaning and electricity 30, enter. So we've got headings, we've got items underneath, and we've got numbers next to them. What we can then do is check our formula, which here is showing a value because it doesn't know really what to look at. All it's looking at C3, which is currently a $sign, minus C9, which is currently 0. So it can't find a value for what that is. So we need to tell Excel what to look at. To do that, I'm going to do a total for income here. So let's go to this cell. We'll call that total income. And then underneath this, we want to put that formula which sums all of these items. So the easy way to do that is to go to this button up here, which is auto sum. You can click this and just go to sum, and it will show you, Excel's very smart, exactly what it thinks you want to sum, which are those numbers up above your cell. So you press enter if that's right, and that's $140. This is a subtotal, so I'm going to highlight those 2 cells by just selecting this one with my left mouse button and dragging it across to here, going up to bold, creating that as a subtotal of income. Down here in expenses, we're going to do the same thing. So total expenses, up to auto sum. That's what I want. Enter. Select with your left click. Go up to bold. Enter. So now we have total income of $140, total expenses of $60. So our total, let's call it total results. So I'm going to change this cell's writing. You can just select that cell and type over it, total result. Enter. And we want it now to be C8 minus C13. So let's delete out this formula by just pressing delete and enter. Go back to this cell and let's write that formula again, which we went through in the last session. So equals, select this one here, total income, minus total expenses, click on this cell and enter. 140 minus 60 gives you your total result of 80. Let's select that and make that bold. And there you have what started as a very simple listing has now got a bit of detail in it and some totals which we've put in. Now before I leave you for today, I just want to show you how you can format those cells to make it a bit easier to read. This button here next to the bold, italics and underline is, I'll click here, the different borders that you can put around your cells. So it's up to you what kind of border you like to have, but just to get out there, I'll click over here on the spreadsheet. I would like to put a border around these numbers here, total income and the number next to it. So we'll go to the borders button, and I'd like to put one here which looks a bit like this, a top and a thick bottom border. So click that, and you can see straight away that total income now has a border around it. We'll do the same for total expenses. Select it, and you can see the button is now at what I used the last time. So I can just click that, click somewhere else so we can see it, and the format of those cells is exactly the same as for total income. For total result, I'll highlight that, and I can use the same one. Click somewhere else. And there you go. We have a nice little spreadsheet which is coming along and providing us with the ability to add some detail and to make it formatted and easy to read. Hope to see you next time, and we'll go through some more detail and some more ways that we can build up this spreadsheet.